Welcome back to Liberal Arts Seminar Managing Culture. We're going to be talking about how to understand the world, how to understand cultural values and differences. I have been working with this topic for more than 20 years. I love the topic, so please forgive me. I am going to make many mistakes. My biggest mistake is if I get excited, I will talk too fast. So it's your job to understand. You're the boss. I work for you, right? You pay my salary. So if I'm talking too fast, please tell me, hey, old man, shut up. Old man, please slow down. Okay. Or you can, of course, ask me to slow things down. As you can also see in here, if I zoom in and make it a little bit bigger, you can see that we have a couple of TAs. We have Miss Hua Yin, and we also have Miss Ina Kimchi. Those ladies can also help you with class anytime. And I would like to invite some of you, not just one, maybe 3 or 4 of you, I would like you to volunteer to be a class president and help with some details. And at the end of the class, I can give a special reference letter, recommendation letter for you guys if you want to be like a class president and help make sure everyone understands things. Is that understood? Can I get 2 people saying, yes, we understand?
Yes.
That's
yes.
1. Good, thanks. So if you have any questions, eventually we're going to have a class president. The class president is supposed to help me find who has questions and make sure people understand this garbage I keep talking about, or if I'm talking too fast. I already introduced myself. I gave this presentation before, correct? What did I say this class was about? What is this picture about? Kwan, Junha, can you tell me what do you think this PPT slide is about? Go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you think this image, what is the purpose? Why am I showing this picture? How does this connect with our class talking about managing culture?
Difference.
Yes, there's many differences, different types of people. Yes. Anything else? What about Zhang Sujin? Or Zhang, oops, I might have said it wrong. Zhang Sungjin. What do you think this picture is showing?
I think it's about gender differences.
Maybe gender differences. Okay. And what else? It's not just showing gender.
Time. I think you mentioned time before.
Yes, there's many different types of culture. There are gender differences, sexual differences. Some people are transgender. Some people are, I don't even know how to say it. What is it? Anyway, there's a bunch of different ways to talk about it, but there's also the time difference with culture, technical cultural differences, of course, national cultural differences, race cultural differences. And as we understand, China is a huge country and India is a huge country. Some people think there's just a country culture, but there's much more than just a country culture. Even inside India, there's thousands of different languages and thousands of different cultures inside India. So there's many different types. And in our class, we can talk about any of them. I have 15 weeks with you. And in our 15 weeks, we will go through this syllabus. Everyone should have this http bit.ly/managing. Oops, not managing culture. It's a different one. It is this one. Managing culture outline. That's this class. This has my contacts and the TA contacts. Every Wednesday class, this is the Zoom link we will use. Every Friday, it's the same Zoom link we will use. You don't have to keep checking CTL. If you have this Excel file, you don't need you don't need CTL anymore. And so week 1, we talk about introduction to culture. Week 2 is the same. Week 3, we talk about culture with information online, fake news, quality news. Week 4, we talk about managing multicultural teams. Week 5, we talk about China and Guangxi, art of war. And so week 6, week 7, all of these are different topics. You must pick 1 week and make a presentation about that. That's one part of it. What else? Kim Chae-hyun, can you maybe repeat to me in our class, what are the different assignments that we're going to have? I'm waiting for a student to answer. How about Lee Sang-hun? Can you repeat, what do you understand is the first assignment you can do?
It is 1 week. We need to choose 1 week and make a PPT and presentation.
Yes. So pick any one of these weeks that I told you and make a presentation about it. Good. And what is the next PPT? What is the next assignment in our class? Pak Jong-ik, do you know?
Pardon, sir.
No. What about Sungwon Yoon? Yoon Sungwon. What is assignment number 2?
I don't know.
Okay, can you start by reading the PPT on my screen?
Okay, specializations term project assignment 2. A team project draft PPT.
Good enough.
30%.
Yes, that's easy.
Okay.
Now you pick another classmate. We have 31 classmates. Pick anybody and tell them to continue reading.
Okay. I pick another person
Yes.
to read. Okay. Chung Sung-jin. I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. What was the question?
Talk to us about what is assignment number 2. So
the term
we already
project.
heard you are supposed to do a draft PPT. It's worth 30 marks. And tell us more. What's the next part?
The next part,
Tell us
Part B.
more about assignment number 2. Yes.
term project final paper.
Yes, good. Keep going. Tell us how many marks is it worth and what are the details?
It's 40%. Just read it.
Yes, please.
Paper must have minimum 10% scopus articles referenced, edited, perfect in text and final references due week 15, Friday, 5 p.m.
Great. I am pretty sure some of you don't know what this means. What does it mean when I say minimum 10 plus scopus articles referenced? Does anybody want me to explain, or can I just guess you all understand?
Explain.
Great, thank you. So your paper
Thank you.
must look like this, right? Every blue area is the normal style to make a paper. You start, we have an introduction, you have background literature, you have methods, you have results, you have discussion conclusion, and then you have to have references. But many times, everybody knows Donald Trump. He says things, but he's full of shit a lot of the time. A lot of what he says is not accurate. It's not reliable. So in our class, I will accept things that are lies. You can lie, that's okay. And you can tell crazy stories, that's okay. But for your term project, you must give some reliable information so you can start to become an expert or a specialist. So when you are looking for reliable information, this chart that I'm showing you shows the most reliable information is at the top, and things that are not reliable are at the bottom. Everybody knows if you just check a blog or Facebook, sometimes that's crap. It's garbage. It's not reliable. It could be complete lies. Sometimes it could be good, but it could be 50-50, right? At the top, if you have anything that has an expert person reviewing details before publishing, that is the best quality. So the world's best quality is Web of Science, or WOS, SSCI, Social Science Cited Index. Next, Scopus. So Scopus is a magazine or journal of expert peer-reviewed articles before publishing. So you can go to www.scopus.com, then you sign in through the university, and you will find a lot of these details, like the Academy of Management or Journal of Marketing. All of these magazines and journals are the world's most reliable. Any questions about that? So you should use 10 references from some of these in your final paper. Make sense? Does anybody know what is the difference between Forbes and Fortune or Harvard Business Review? Those are also Scopus, but some experts like me laugh at them. They are not really expert articles because they don't have references. In your paper, you have to show references. But Harvard Business Review, they will give you a story and they just said, I'm from Harvard, I said it. Ha! You must believe me. They don't give references. Same thing with Fortune, same thing with Forbes. So those are a little bit lower quality. Then you can have national magazines, maybe with just one editor checking, not an expert in every subject. Or you can have fashion magazines or Time or The Economist. Less reliable than that, you could have just some companies. Or even, what does edu? www.blah.edu. What does that mean? UN. What does it mean when you see this?
Sorry.
What does it mean when you see this detail website .edu?
More like academic things.
Yeah, it is a website of a university. Are you surprised that I'm telling you that it is not completely reliable? Do you believe me? Do you think
I kind of surprised. Yes.
you kind of what? I didn't hear you.
Surprised to.
You're surprised. Okay.
Yes.
How about, what do you find important with a university? How many students get jobs? What about how many students pass? What about how many students fail? Can you find that in our university website? Right? You want to know, but it doesn't tell you, right? It only tells you the good news. So
Yes.
the journal articles at the top, that tells you even when a researcher studies 5 years for a PhD trying to study something and his experiment is a failure, they still will publish that and it will say, we did this and it did not work. So it teaches you the bad news. But at the bottom of this group, they don't tell you the whole story. They just tell you what they want to promote. Same thing. Can you pick another one of your students and get your classmate to guess what is this? ORG. Pick any classmate.
Songjin, John.
Yes, Professor. Is it
We're
me
waiting
again?
for you to answer him.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, does anybody in class understand when you have a website that ends .org? What is that? What about Kim Chae-hun?
Yes, Professor.
Answer my question, please.
Please, could you tell me one more time?
Okay, this is the third time. When you have a website that says .org, what is that? Because when you have a website that finishes www blah 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 .edu, that is a school website, like a university website. But when you have a website ending .org, what is that?
ORG?
Yes. It's almost the same as this one. Can you read what I'm highlighting now? What does
Yep.
this mean in a website?
.com?
Yes.
Yes.
So what is it? Is this a school?
No, just all website. Yes.
Not all websites. Some website have edu, some website org, some website gov.
Yeah.
So what is com?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, this stands for company. So like Naver or Samsung.com. They're company websites. Same thing. This is some organization, almost the same as a company. Maybe it's a non-profit. UnitedNations.org, WorldBank.org, something like that. What about this? Kim Chae-hun, can you pick a classmate and tell them to explain GOV? You pick your classmate.
Maybe I think it is government.
Yes. And do you understand? I am saying this, right?
Yeah.
So I am saying it's not reliable. Why am I saying that?
Professor, I think sorry, I don't know.
Okay, just read what I have highlighted. Or you can pick your classmate. Find a classmate and ask your classmate to answer the question.
Really? Okay. Yep. I choose one. Chen Zhongwan? Yeah. I choose him.
Great. We're waiting for him to answer the question or read what I have highlighted.
Just reading.
That's a good start. Yes.
Should be trusted, may promote itself and its clients and tell only half a story.
Right. So even a government website or some organization website or a company website, they should be trusted, but they're probably going to promote itself, and it promotes what it likes, and it only tells you what it wants to say. It's not going to say the bad news, right? Like the government doesn't talk about how the government makes problems. Same thing with newspapers, CNN, BBC. They only tell you the sexy story. They don't tell you the boring story, right? And if the story is very long and some of the story is sexy and some of the story is boring, they only tell you the interesting, sexy topic, right? So the only thing that is very reliable, usually in the world, is materials or magazines that have expert friends, expert peers reviewing details before they get published. And so this is where you should get your information for assignment number 2. So again, we go back to assignment number 2, and by week 7, midterm, you should present your PPT and use 7 references from Scopus magazines and talk to us about your introduction, your literature review, your methods, your results, and your conclusion. Who can I ask now? Moon Taegyong, did I talk to you yet today? Did I ask you a question yet today, Moon
No,
Taegyong?
haven't, sir. No, haven't, sir.
Okay. Can you explain what do you think should be in an introduction?
So what am I going to say?
Yeah, in class, you need to make a PPT, and I'll give you 30 marks, and
Yeah.
you need to talk about introduction. So what should be in that part when you talk to the class?
So right about the what am I going to say and what am I introduce the information.
That's the beginning, but a little bit more than that.
A little more than that. I have no idea, sir.
Look at the flashing light. Read what is on the screen.
Okay, why the topic is important.
Yes.
Introduction, why topic is important, what is the specific, not general problem is, what you did to try to solve the problem, background or study.
Great. Now your turn. Do you want to keep reading about the background literature, or do you want to pick your classmate to keep reading?
I will keep reading, sir.
Great. So can you go on to the next part? The introduction is you're talking about why the topic's important. The next part, number 2.
What other key rights say? The background literature or literature review provide information about what other key rights say. Try to include a statement from original idea, findings, author cite significantly as identified in Google, professors from your university, and people within your dream organization.
Now this is complicated, and maybe because I have got 13 years of education, maybe I'm a crazy geek, I admit. So can we get some help to understand what is that saying? What does it mean when we say you should try to include statements from the original idea founding author? What does that mean?
Rephrase it.
Yeah, can you rephrase that? Can you say that in a different way? Or is that a question for me?
Is it right? Rephrasing the words and sentences.
So you need to give a quote about, let's say, who invented the theory of relativity? And everybody knows Albert Einstein invented E equals mc squared. So you could talk about gravity, and you could be talking about Elon Musk is going to take his spaceship and go to the moon, or Elon Musk is going to go to Mars, and you talk about gravity. But you should start, because we're talking about gravity, Albert Einstein was the first. You should include some quote or some sentence or some statement from the original idea, the founding author. So include something from Einstein. Understand? Whoever is the first person to start researching that, or whoever is an expert in your topic, try to have a quote from that person. That's what it means. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. How can you pick a classmate? We will ask a classmate what this means. Authors cited significantly.
I'm gonna choose with Kiri Kim.
Congratulations, your turn. What do you think it means to quote or make a statement, make a sentence about authors that are cited significantly? Or how can you make a sentence about authors that are referenced a lot? Are you there in class, or she's not in class? Should I mark her as absent, or is she here? Maybe she's not in class. What about Jun Bo Yun? or Yoon Junbo.
Yes.
Can you try to explain what this means to give statements from authors cited significantly?
I'm sorry, because I didn't understand what the professor was saying.
Okay. When you write your research paper, you should try to find the original person that started researching that and somebody that has written a really interesting paper and many other people reference them a lot, or whoever's at the top of Google, that person that's at the top of Google as identified by Google, that is also a good person to reference or make a quote from that person. Understand?
Oh.
Let's go through and explain a few more of these and then come back and we can ask questions later. What about why would you quote one of your professors? Let's say you want to go and do an MBA, or let's say you want to go to a graduate school. Why is it smart to quote one of the professors in the graduate school?
I didn't understand, sorry.
Okay. Anybody, let's go. Thank you for saying that. Let's just review this for a minute. So we have one assignment, and that one assignment is to do a weekly topic. Your second assignment is to do this research paper. But the very first thing is, if you talk lots in class, I will give you 10 points. But if I can't hear you or if I can't see you, I don't know you're participating in class. So if you want these 10 points, you need me to see you or you need me to hear you. You can be wrong. You can argue with me. You can say crazy things. As long as I see you or as long as I hear you trying to talk, I will give you the 10 points. So
Professor,
everybody should try. Go ahead.
When is the deadline assignment one?
Good. So the first one is depending on when you're going to present or what you're going to present. So we are still in week 1 now. This is the last day of week 1. Next week is next week. So if you're going to present, for example, about fake news, that is week 3. So you need to present in week 3. Usually I will present a PPT and we have a PDF that we can talk about and a video we can talk about. That will be in the first class that is on the Wednesday. And then on Fridays, you students will present. So if you present for week 3, you would present in Friday of week 3 or Friday of week 4, Friday of week 5. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's go on to the next part. If you want to go and continue studying for many years, or if you want to get an MBA or a graduate school, it's very good if you get a relationship with the professor. And so if you quote that professor and learn about what that professor is studying, that will help you. That will give you a better relationship and connection with that professor. So that's why I'm telling that to you. It will help your future. Same thing. If you want to work for Samsung or if you want to work for Tesla, it's smart to give a quote from somebody in Samsung or give a quote to somebody in Tesla. Understand? Let's go on to the next part. Pak Jong-ik, have I talked to you today? Are you here?
Yes, sir.
Great. Can you read number 3?
What is the problem? How specifically did you try to solve it?
Okay, keep going. Many people make mistakes with this number 3. Many people said, oh, I just read the literature. Well, that's not research methodology. That's just reading, and that's not really research. So read all of this, and then we'll try to make sure we understand.
Okay. Stage 2 were typical people you interview. Why you interview these people? How exactly you interview these people? What are example of question you ask in the interview? What exactly were the reply? And then later in the research or discussion section, state what you feel the survey means. Basically, what is the problem and how did you try to solve the problem?
Great. So it's best to understand details are very important. Don't be general. You understand in Korea, sometimes you'll use one word like pegopa, but in other countries, especially in North America and Europe, they use many, many, many problems, or sorry, not many problems. They use many words. English is 힘들어. So in Korea, where they use one word like pegopa, North America, they don't understand that. Do you mean hunger? Are you hungry? Am I hungry? What do you want to eat? We don't know the meaning. So when you're writing in English, you have to use many words specifically for this methodology or the methods section. So if you're going to interview people, you should say, who did you interview? And why did you interview them? Or how did you interview them? Or where did you interview them? As much information as possible will help. Next, can the person that just read, can you pick the next classmate to read number 4? How about Kim Cutie?
Yes, Professor.
Please read number 4.
Number 4.
Yes, please.
What you found. Research. What you found.
Qualitative papers, right?
Yes, papers should quote exact words from people surveyed, indented with quotes and in-text references, or provide photos identifying the main idea you discuss.
Right. So there are many ways to do research. Many students use this the most. Basically, if you just go and survey or if you just observe something in real world, that is called participant observer study. Or if you do a field study and watch people's everyday normal action or what is their normal rituals or their normal routine, that is called ethnography. Or you can do a case study where you study a company or activity or a specific detail. So these are examples that you can use. Any of them is okay. You have to use these good information, reliable information, at least 10 from something like this. Use at least 10 from Scopus, but it's best to do this. Find a paper that's already published and try to copy the same format. So if you can look carefully here, you can see this paper is talking about understanding the predictive power of social media. This paper was created by experts in Europe, talking about social media can tell the future. Social media can predict the future. And so a student paper is like this. This was done by 2 students. And so the first student, everything they wrote, they highlight in green. The next student, they wrote in white. And so the student did the same topic, but they changed some small details. This is talking about predicting power of social media. This paper from the students is talking about predicting the future for L'Oreal Cosmetics with their marketing strategies in Korea. So I suggest you do the same thing for your project. Find a paper and replicate those details. Any questions about that? Those are the assignments. And today we will go back to talking about regular culture. But I just wanted to check that you guys are aware and you know what you need to do for class, because some students need to start showing their the results. And I haven't seen many people sign up. Every student, you must open this and sign your name in here, write down what is your weekly topic, write down what is your term project focus, tell me or guess what is the title of your term project. Even though you didn't start yet, guess and tell me the title of your paper. And then tell me your Kakao contact or WhatsApp or Facebook contact so we can get in touch with each other and study together online. Is that understood? Has everybody filled out this Google form for the class? You should have this Google document and put your name, put your email address, your contacts, your weekly topic, your term project with the title and your phone number. And if you have questions, write that. Everyone should do that, but several students did not do it yet. Please make sure you finish that soon. This information, it is included inside here, as you can see this here. Fill in the Google form, this. Okay? So let's go back to the topic. Any other questions about our class assignment and what you need to do? No? Good. Let's get on to the next slide. Last class, we talked about the idea of many different cultures. We talked about time cultures, age cultures, 100 years ago, 600 years ago, recently. Then we talked about like Bill Gates culture. We talked about money culture. We talked about how the world is changing and transforming. And I showed this video. I showed you there's many different cultural differences and cultural values. Today is the day where you are supposed to do most of the talking. So I want you guys to talk to me about kind of a game. And there's no wrong answer. Nothing is dumb. It's just different. So play a game, learn to talk as much as we can here. And the first game is this. I am the professor, right? Kim Chae-hyun. And if I ask you a question, Kim Chae-hyun, she should say, 알겠습니다. Here is the answer, right? 사장님? That is supposed to be normal. But sometimes in class, students don't talk very much. So what can I do, Kim Chae-hyun, what can I do to get you and get your classmates to talk more? How could I motivate you? Can I buy you a new house? Can I buy you a new Mercedes car? What should I do to get you to talk more?
Now, I don't know each other, so maybe we have lots of time to talk more.
Yes, but
yeah.
week you can get points, right? Basically, you get 1 point each week for talking.
Yeah, maybe.
What else can I do? If I buy every student a new car, will that help?
Maybe.
It may be, but I'm not Oprah Winfrey. I'm not that rich. No chance.
Yes.
What is your guess?
My guess. I don't know well.
Oh my God! If she doesn't know, how can I win? How about right next to you, Sungjun Sung Jun? Your turn. How can I motivate students to talk more in class?
Mm, 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 maybe you have to more fun to our students.
I need to what? I need to kick students' ass? What did you say? I didn't hear you.
You have to give a fun to our students.
Make the class have fun. I'm trying, but you guys are being quiet. This actually, if you read that story on the computer now, it's actually crazy. But I think nobody's reading it. They're waiting for me to tell you to read it. So what if I pay you? If I pay you money, will you talk more, Mr. Saul? If I give you Manon, if I give you $10, will you talk more?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yes.
What about you, Mr. Jung? Jung Sungjin. If I give you money, if I give you a bonus, will you talk more? So far today, I don't remember you talking.
Well, I don't think it's about the money.
So money will not motivate you. You're rich.
Yes.
His
No,
father
no,
is
no,
Bill
no.
Gates. He's in the Samsung family.
No.
Now it's your turn, Mr. Jung. What do you think will motivate people?
I think we have to get to know each other better.
Okay,
Since-
so I am going to put the class into groups, and your group must find the answer to this. I want you in groups to talk together. It can be English, that's best, or it could be Korean if you have to, and just find the answer. What are 5 ideas? Idea 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What can make you talk more? What can motivate you to talk more or do more work in class? Okay? So I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes in a group. Soon as you go into this breakout room group, you have to start talking and find 5 ideas, and then somebody in your group must tell that to the class afterwards. Do you understand, Kim Jae-kyung? Even though she's not going to talk, but she understands. What about you, Jung Yoo-jung?
I understand.
Great. Jung Yoo-jung, you understand? I will put you in a group soon. You understand what you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to find 5 things that will make you want to talk more in class. Okay, just come up with 5 ideas. Right?
Okay.
Kim, Jisoo, you're the last one. And if you have any questions, ask a question. If anybody has questions, ask a question. Otherwise, I will put you into groups.
No question. Just put us in a group, man.
Okay, so shut up, professor, and put us into groups. We have about, 20 students. So I'm going to make big groups. I'm just going to make 4 groups to start with. Here we go.